the analysis now from our sports correspondent, Martha Kellner, who joins us. Martha, what's your take on these breaking news lines from the Premier League?
Yeah, I think it's a really significant move from the Premier League. They were under pressure to make some commitment around player wages, given that we had yesterday the Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, publicly saying in that government press conference that Premier League players had a duty to accept a cut in wages. And it really was a very meaningful statement from the Premier League. They said, as you were mentioning there, that there's this £125 million relief fund for the EFL and the National League clubs. Those are the clubs which are likely to find themselves in a really deep crisis with the coronavirus, the clubs that rely on that match day income more than perhaps the Premier League clubs. The Premier League have also committed £20 million to the NHS, which will be available immediately in a charitable donation. With regards to players' wages, there's been a collective agreement between the 20 Premier League clubs that they'll consult their players about what effectively will be a 30% reduction in wages, whether that be through wage cuts or deferred wages. So that's to do with the financial side of things. The other major issue that was up for discussion in this conference call today was when the Premier League will be allowed to resume. They had set their sights on the season restarting at the beginning of May, but there's an agreement among them that that's simply not going to be possible. So that's going to be kept under constant review. Separate to this Premier League meeting, there was also a teleconference call this morning chaired by the Liverpool captain Jordan Henderson, but including all of the other 20 Premier League captains, in which they discussed what they, as Premier League players, under the heavy weight of criticism that they are at the moment, having not collectively committed anything, what they could do to help with this relief fund. And my understanding is that they've agreed that at some point, as a group of Premier League players, there will be a one-off lump sum donation made to the. It's thought that that could run into many millions of pounds. And it really is about these players now getting back on the front foot. And I'm told that these discussions between the players about giving this donation had been afoot long before Matt Hancock made those critical comments about, and long before the public opinion seemed to have turned against them. So the Premier League clubs and the Premier League players are really looking to take a stand here.